You know, Willie, when my children found out about the attack, they asked where was it? Was it in Times Square? Was it on Wall Street? And I explained to them, I said, no, it was on the bike path we always saw, going down the West Side Highway. And while it's not a marquee name, that bike path somehow symbolizes the new New York of the last 20 or so years, where it's where everybody floods to up and down the West Side. Talk about that and talk about the scene where you are right now.
Yeah, it's a greenway, Joe, that begins all the way up at the George Washington Bridge at the Little Red Schoolhouse. You can take it all the way down to Battery Park City, down the west side of Manhattan, and it's closer to Battery Park City where this attack took place yesterday. The man, the 29-year-old Uzbek national, lived in Ohio, Tampa, Florida, and most recently in Paterson, New Jersey. From what we know, rented a truck at a Home Depot in Passaic, New Jersey, just across the river. Probably would have taken him 20 to 30 minutes to drive this way. Came over the river, came out at West Houston Street, which is about 14 blocks north of where we are here, pulled onto the path, which, Joe, is really one of the only places you can get a vehicle onto the path where the entrance is wide enough, drove down and struck, as Mika just said, and killed 8 people, injuring 12 others, many of them hit from the back, 5 of them from Argentina. We've learned 1 also from Belgium. Clearly, this is a popular tourist hub where foot traffic and bicycle traffic is busy at that time of day. It was just after 3 o'clock, too, on Halloween. There are schools here. Stuyvesant High School is just behind me, a prestigious public school, PS 89, an elementary school, and IS 289 in the same building as PS 89, which is a middle school. Kids are getting out for Halloween in their costumes, and we've been hearing stories, guys, of parents there to pick up their children, thinking they saw an automobile accident, 2 fathers going over to see if they could help the driver who'd been in an accident, seeing him emerge with what we now know to be a paint gun and a pellet gun, the assailant in that case, and the fathers then running back and pushing kids back into the school in their Halloween costumes, where they then sheltered in place. What we know so far, guys, about this guy, as I said, is he's 29, a Uzbek national who came here in 2010 to the United States on a green card. He's had a number of different residences in the United States. He worked for Uber as a driver. He obviously now has been removed from Uber's website. This is a man we're still learning about. There's tons of police activity going on still behind me. Fire trucks, police cars moving as we go. But you put all this together, Joe, 8 deaths, 12 injuries, including some people on the school bus where this crash ended at Chambers Street just behind me. The man in his car hit a school bus, 2 children and 2 teachers on that bus injured as well here, Joe.
Hey, you know, Willie, also, it's very interesting. Halloween, for people that don't know about New York, don't know about living in New York, is actually a really, really special place. If you have young kids, people shut down entire blocks. It was always really the day my kids looked forward to the most. I think we'd go up to 69th Street, and every street that did this was just decked out. It was festive. When this happened, there were so many people that said, oh boy, well, you know, a lot of kids obviously aren't going to understand why, but these huge events are going to be canceled. But that wasn't the case. New York City didn't let this slow them down, and you were actually out last night, and what a testament to the great men and women in the NYPD.
Well, I have to say, it was a beautiful sight. I mean, this had happened just a couple of hours prior. Kids were just getting out of school, getting ready to go trick-or-treating. We went out, you mentioned 69th Street on the Upper West Side, where they block off 2 city blocks, like a block party, so the kids can walk up and down these brownstone homes and walk up to houses that have been decorated and get their candy. There was a heavy police presence. They were there anyway to block off the street, but it was stepped up at either end of the street. They had police barricades and obviously armed officers standing there. But this hung heavy in the air. But the streets were packed, and I tweeted out and put on Instagram a video because I was just so moved. 2 hours before, we had seen this horrible scene of carnage behind me, and now here were parents bringing their young children out in the street. Yes, to make their kids happy, but also as an act of defiance. The parents knew what was going on. We were thinking about it, we were talking about it, but the kids went about their business, and scenes like that played out all over New York City, including at the famous Halloween parade here downtown, where Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo marched, just again hours after this attack down here on Chambers Street.
And Willie, I saw that video that you put out on Instagram, and a lot of others brought tears to my eyes, because in New York, that's what we are. We're defiant. We're resilient. Mike Barnicle.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.